Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Welcome back to Renaissance Life TV. On today's show, I'm talking about, do you need money in order to get money? Do you need money in order to get married? Alright, welcome back, guys. If you're new to this channel, Renaissance Life TV is a channel for men who want to take their lives to the next level. Every week, I put out videos on personal growth and success and a different perspective on navigating life and relationships. If you love this kind of content and want to support this channel, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to this channel for more great videos on a weekly basis. I'm going to jump right into this one, guys. Do you need to have money in order to get married? I think in practical terms, most people probably think, yes, you need to have money in order to get married. But, you know, I've been thinking about this thing, man, and I really think that usually when we think about money being the hindrance to getting married, that's usually not the root issue or the root cause. And I think, to be quite honest, you don't really need any money to get married, right? If you ultimately love the person that you're with and the person who you're with loves you, then that's enough to get married. Now, I understand that, there's going to be counsel that, you need to have money so that way you're stable and this and that, but that's really not necessarily a prerequisite to getting married. If it really was the prerequisite to getting married, you see that the vast majority of people before they get married, especially in America, are quote unquote stable, right? They might be in their 30s, they might be working already, and we still have the same divorce rate that we have today because the success of a marriage is not based on whether or not you had money in order to get married or have money. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to have a stable marriage, etc. There are so many other fundamental things. It's nice if you have that stability, but if you even look at how marriage used to be, going back even 20, 30 years when people were getting married at about 18, 19 years old, a lot of that kind of tracked how much education you needed in order to get a job. And so when a man was leaving high school and had a high school education, that was generally around the time when he was able to go out and get a job and be able to make a living. And people would get married right after high school. So they would graduate from school, get married, and start their lives together. The man would go off to work, and the woman would either be working or stay at home, whatever the case might be. But the ability to be able to work was there, and he was willing to do the work in order to provide for the family. So there really wasn't a thing of like being financially stable necessarily, like, spending years accumulating money or saving money so that way you can then get married. I'll say in my own, just speaking for myself, I wasn't super stable, right? I had an education, but as you and I probably both know, like, that doesn't mean anything, especially if you're coming out of school and have an education. That doesn't guarantee you're going to get a job, or that if you get a job, you're going to get a good job. And I was coming out of law school, so there really were no guarantees. But one thing that I knew for sure was that I was willing to do whatever it took to make sure that my family was taken care of. So even though we didn't have a ton of money in the beginning and we started off from scratch, we started off together and we built this thing together. And so I think that's a really powerful thing, that if you're looking to get married and you're ready emotionally and everything's in place between you and that person, don't let that be the thing that stops you or hinders you from actually moving forward to get married. There's also this question about, like, if money is necessary in order to get married and you gotta have some money saved or things like that, like, how much is enough? Like, when do you know that you're ready to be married and you've saved enough money? Because we often hear that sort of scenario between a guy and a girl where the girl's like, man, I've been waiting like 5 years, and he says he's not ready because he still needs to save and he needs to be stable and things like that. And what I've found the majority of the time is that that's not really the issue. It's rarely ever about the money. Even when I feel like psychologists say that, the one of the number one causes of divorce or issues in your marriage is finances, that's really not the case, guys. It's not finances. Finances in and of itself will not cause problems in your marriage. That's why you can see two homeless people. Both of them don't have a penny to their name, and they're both in love on the street together, walking the streets, doing their thing together, right? That's not the basis of fights or arguments or relationship. That has a lot more to do with the communication in the relationship and what the actual situation, emotional, relational situation is between the people. So if you're broke because you have an alcoholism problem and you're drinking all the time, then you're arguing all the time because she's upset that you guys don't have money because you're squandering the money or you just won't go to work, right? So the root of the issue, the root of the argument is not the fact that you don't have money, but the fact that you're an alcoholic, so you can't be gainfully employed, right? So if you really look back at a lot of these sort of conversations as to why, a relationship, fell apart and, finances were involved, that is really not about finance. I really don't believe it's about finances, guys. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. But I think honestly, like when two people really love each other and you're a guy and you're ride or die and you've got a ride or die girl, like she's gonna go with you to the ends of the earth. If you guys are in sync and you guys are on the same page, it doesn't matter what you go through. In fact, not having money will bind you closer together. Being tight and being stronger together, like you'll remember the times that you were struggling, right? Once you finally reach a place where you guys have built up enough that you guys are super comfortable or things like that. And that's what I found to be the case in my own relationship and so many relationships that I have seen of people who just started with humble beginnings, guys. Like, don't let people put into your mind this concept like you have to have this and have that and be this and be that and have this much education and that much education. Like, that's really not the case. I've found that there's no true correlation between how established you were, how much education you had, and the success rate of your relationship or your marriage, guys. And I would even go so far as to say that being more established comes with a separate set of challenges. Like I'm watching like Married at First Sight with my wife, and a lot of the issues that the people have come from the mere fact that they waited so long, that they're two completely individual people who have already created entirely separate lives. They already own their homes, right? Each of them. So there's arguments like, whose do we do? Like, they're so established in their individuality that there's almost no room for someone to come in and make that adjustment. But when you start off together, guys, you really don't have that issue. Like, literally, when you get a house, this is the house we bought together. So it's no question about, well, this person's already established. They already have established their career. They don't want to move to this city, that city. Like, if you start together and you're both young together, I think there's really definitely an argument for the simplicity of that, right? Comes with its own challenges, but the challenge that is that instead of you having been single at 20 and struggling to figure things out, you have somebody with you, right? So maybe you're both struggling and trying to figure things out and you get it together, but when you do, it's a beautiful thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep this video short. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you need money to get married? And if you do need money to get married, how much money do you need? Like, when is enough enough? And what does it take? And is that the reason why relationships don't work today? Is that what you're finding, that people just didn't have enough money and they hadn't saved enough and prepared, and therefore their relationship can't stay together, guys? Let me know what you think. If you like this video and this content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're seeing a red button, you haven't subscribed yet, guys. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel and let me know what you think, guys. And as usual, wishing you health and happiness, guys. Cheers.